Show me what's going on. Kelly, you know the drill, queen. If you've got follow-up questions, anything at all that you want, you just hit the chat and you let me know, because I want to make sure that you feel like you're getting something of value from me, okay? I know it's the one I chose. That's iconic. That's iconic behavior. When I picture somebody named Willow, I picture somebody that like is graceful, but not graceful like a ballerina, is graceful like a poet or like a painter. Do you know what I mean? Okay, I know this is a tangent, but there was a willow tree in the backyard where I grew up, and I had such a lovely friendship with that tree. And so maybe there's just like a positive association for me there. Maybe I'm thinking about her. Okay, I'm a poet. That makes sense. That tracks. But graceful like a poet or an artist. Yeah, of course. Okay, all right, let's get into it. Can I see what's going on for my friend Kelly and Drew, please? Kelly and Drew. Anything that's gonna be relevant to this gorgeous human being sitting in front of me. Okay, 4 of Cups in the ooh, okay. You're throwing out cards for me, queen, so let's get into it. They're popping out, which tells me there's a lot of energy behind this, or maybe I'm just clumsy, but I think there's a lot of energy behind this. 4 of Cups in the reverse is an interesting thing to jump out right away, because basically what we're talking about there is that I think there's a fear from somebody in this dynamic that emotional stability could in some way become limiting. Usually when I see this is somebody who, even if they really care about the other person, is afraid that, or has a conception that in relationships, they get their wings clipped, so to speak, or in other words, like, I'm afraid that I'm not going to be able to have the sense of individualism that I do now. That's a tricky thing to battle, because in a perfect world, a relationship should make us feel expansive, not contracted, right? But a lot of times I see this pop up if one of you has been in a relationship that made you feel contracted, that made you feel kind of small, made you feel belittled, made you feel like you couldn't, make choices on your own behalf, like you couldn't grow next to this person, like that person wanted to keep you in. We might be getting some like past trauma creeping in there, be that from family of origin dynamics, like people around you growing up, the relationships that you watch, or relationships that you've been in throughout your life as well. So one of the two is happening there. I'm not totally able to identify who that's with right now, just sort of flew out. Let me see what's going on with each of you, and then we'll whittle that down. Here's the thing. I like your energy, Kelly. What I think is really cool about you, Chris, I am kind of a lot. It's an impossibility that I have to chill. I'm a fast talker. I'm an excited person. I live a happy, good life. Point being, Kelly, 5 of Swords in the reverse, 8 of Swords in the upright. You live heavily in your mental realms. Okay, Swords talk to me about intellect. They talk to me about anxiety, mentality, and also expression. I think you're kind of on the cusp of expression here. It's interesting. 5 of Swords in the reverse. You, above all else, want to make sure that you're moving through this in a manner that's kind, not only to yourself, but also to the other person. 5 of Swords in the reverse is like, listen, I don't want either of us to get shish kebabbed in this event. I just want to make sure that we're acting amicably and equally if possible. Because 5 of Swords shows me the card of like social cruelty. So when I get that overturned, you're like, listen, I'm not trying to cause like conflict here. I'm not trying to cause more mental anguish. And at the same time, Kelly, and this is why I really like your energy, you're moving forward, and I'm asking, what is it that you're working on or working through? And you show me the 8 of Swords. This means that you're very self-aware in that there are some self-limiting belief systems that you've had before that have held you back, particularly in the realm of love and affection with others, because we're doing a love reading, right? And so what I think is cool about you is you're figuring out how to navigate this in a way that's sighted instead of blindsided. Let me explain that to you a little bit. You, with this 8 of Swords, you see the blindfold is put over this character? One of the things about the story of this character is the blindfold is self-inflicted. That was put on the person who's wearing it, by the person who's wearing it, excuse me. So this is what I'm talking about with self-limiting belief systems, basically like ways that we blind ourselves. And see this like poison ivy, leaves of 3, leave them be, right? You see this poison ivy that's climbing up the person. The idea here is you are very well aware that sometimes your own self-limiting belief systems can put you in positions that are uncomfortable that you don't want to be in. It can actually become a little bit agitating. You're like, I'm aware about this. And so I'm trying to strike a new stance and move forward in a way that's sighted instead of a way that's blindsided. So there's a lot of old lingering feelings that are hanging out especially as you're approaching this new relationship dynamic. Let me look on Drew's side of the spectrum. Okay, I think this Four of Cups in reverse might actually belong to Drew. Because remember how I said, somebody's got this feeling like emotional stability is limiting to them. Not to say that you can also share a slice of that pie. Maybe that resonates with you a little bit too. But I think a lot of this comes in for Drew because his worst fear is potential in the reverse. He's afraid that he's going to make himself vulnerable and that this isn't going to work out. And then he shows me being on the hermit's journey. It's tricky because people on the hermit's journey are not usually super able to open up to a relationship setting right away because it is an individualized journey. Hoping he's at the end of it for your sake. Hang on. I don't think he's really thinking about this as actively as I would want to see. Oh, okay. I'm not going to say this couldn't come together. It just looks a little bit precocious to me. He views you in the Queen of Cups. He views you as somebody who is like a very good, how do I put this? Who is very emotionally mature, who is very able to delegate the emotions of other people as well. Very caring, very loving. Queen of Cups has Cancer energy. You don't have to be a Cancer. But think things that are associated with like the moon, for example. That waxing and waning, ebbing and flowing, kind of feminine energy. That's what he associates you with, which I think is gorgeous. So it seems like this person really admires you and really cares about you. I'm just wondering when this connection is going to become solid because it feels very gelatinous right now. It feels very like, okay, it's like this. Yeah, it's like imagine putting Jell-O in the fridge. And it's solid, right? But is it? You know what I mean? That's the energy that I'm getting from this connection. Kelly, what else can I answer for you here? I want to make sure I'm giving you something of value and you feel like I'm answering all your questions. What else are you wondering? Are there specifics that I can really hammer down for you? And Ronald, you're up next, just so you know, okay? After Ronald, I'll have Tawny. My eyeball popping off the screen. Every thing you said makes no sense. Just wondering if his feelings were genuine, but it seems like I do think his feelings are genuine, yeah. I think it's like an internal struggle for him. Talking about my pleasure, Kelly. Thank you for letting me read for you. It's a privilege, and I hope this has been helpful. Just had a really bad vibes interaction with an old man. Oh, how I love being. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. What happened? I fucking feel you there. It's hard to be optimistic when things like that happen. All right, Ronald, what are we reading on? Can I answer for you, my friend? After that, I'll have Tawny. Thank you guys for letting me be here. Thank you for letting me read for you today. I'm having so much fun, and I hope you are too. Annie, you're the sweetest in the world. I'm so happy you're here. Just a general. Okay, you got it. You know the drill, Ronald. If you've got follow-up questions, if there's anything else at all that I can answer to you, gift to you, just hit the chat, let me know, because I want to make sure that you feel satiated and like this has been worth your time and energy, okay?